Is this team going to make the playoffs? How about let's finish there? Is this team going to make the playoffs? Let's look at the standings. Conference standings. The Niners are currently the 10 seed. They're last in their division behind Seattle and the Rams. To win the division, they're not, Arizona's 6-4. They got easy schedules, an easy schedule coming up. So the Niners need to take a spot from Washington or Green Bay. Minnesota won again today. They're making the playoffs most likely. They're 8-2. Green Bay 7-3. Washington 7-4. So they kind of have to beat Green Bay. They lose to Green Bay next week. They're 5-6. They could possibly make the playoffs, but how? Who's gonna drag him there? I love Jawan Jennings, but in his biggest games, the Niners lose. I'm not saying he's the reason, but he can't carry them to victory. He can't. McCaffrey can't anymore. As well as Kittle's been playing this year, they were 5-4. No, what were they? They're like 500 of them on the field. I'm sorry, I'm bad at math and remembering things. And then if Bosa misses time with this oblique injury, I think their defense is cooked. And I just want to know, how is the narrative of this season going to change? Because throughout the bye week, the narrative was, it doesn't matter what's happening right now. Forget how mediocre to bad the Niners have looked. We know who they are deep down inside. We've seen it in the past. Wait for the bye week. They'll regroup. They'll get Christian back, and they're going to go on a run. That's not who this team is. If you forget about the past and judge this team based only on what they've done this year, you'd have to admit they're not a good team in any way. I don't give a damn what their offensive DVOA is or whatever. You can find whatever stats, whatever excuses, but the narrative of this season is the Niners are going down, and they just realized it today. It was right in front of our faces since training camp. And they just finally stared their mortality in the face today. And it was terrifying to them. For the first time, Kyle Shanahan understood that his job is on the line. Look at his face in the post-game press conference. He lost all composure. He couldn't be in there and out of there fast enough. No, this team is not going to make the playoffs this year. They might win a few more games. They might not, though. Let's say Bosa misses. They'll lose to Green Bay. They'll lose to Buffalo. You might be, but at that point, 5-7. They're going to be 5-7 in 2 weeks, which means they would have to win out essentially after that. Maybe they will, man. Maybe they will. But if they don't, I know a way the Niners could get 2 first-round picks next year to sort of shake things up, start a little rebuild, a little reload. 2 first-round, trade Kyle. Who would trade 2 first-round picks for Kyle Shanahan? Which sucker could we take advantage of here? Raiders? The Raiders always are, they could be the Raiders. They might want Kyle. They wanted Jimmy. Maybe they'll go for Kyle. 2 first-round picks. The Raiders would be number 1 on my list. We're thinking terrible franchises that don't understand what's going on. Check the chat. Chat, what do you guys think? Where could Dallas? Raiders, Dallas. Okay, now we're thinking. Help me out. Jacksonville? Send them to Jacksonville. I'd love them. They would freaking love Kyle Shanahan and Duval. The Jets, I like that. The Panthers, There are teams out there that would trade multiple first-round picks. Some of these teams with top 10 picks for Kyle. Do that. You could have an upgraded coach next year and 2 first-round picks, courtesy of Kyle. It's the least he could do after burning 3 first-round picks on fire, metaphorically, by trading for Trey Lance and never developing him. It's the least he could do. On the way out, can you recoup some of that draft capital that you threw away? Please. New England? The Giants? Don't you think that my voice keeps cracking? I'm 14 years old. Don't you think the Giants would love Kyle Shanahan? No, I want Kyle Shanahan to go to the Giants. Let me tell you why. He thinks he's got it tough with the Bay Area media. Let me tell you something. We're not that tough. I'm not that tough. I would sincerely enjoy, I would tune in to watch him coaching the Giants, doing press conferences with those reporters. Please, God, if there's one thing I want to see Kyle Shanahan have to deal with that. Robert Saleh did. Let's see what you got, Kyle, man. Condescend to all those writers in New York. See how that goes. I'd love to see it. Please, please. Kyle the Giants. Is it too much to ask? It'd be great. He deserves it. New York deserves it. America deserves it. Maybe he would win a Super. A lot of people feel Kyle Shanahan's going to win a Super Bowl eventually. I think he'll do it for the Giants. Him and Daniel Jones. I think that's all Daniel Jones needs is a little Kyle action. Pause. That came out wrong.